Students, good morning everyone. So today my topic is chemical kinetics. So in this chemical kinetics we will discuss what is the rate of the reaction, what are the factors which are influencing the rate of the reaction, and thereafter their reaction mechanism, what is the order, molecularity. So in that order, zero order, first order, second order, so rate constants to measure in various order of the reactions. Okay, so let us. So what is exactly the chemical kinetics? So chemical kinetics is nothing but it's a branch of chemistry which deals about mainly the rate of reaction and also the factors which are influencing on rate of reaction and reaction mechanism. And then that branch of chemistry we call it as what? Chemical kinetics. It deals mainly about the speed of the reaction. Rate is nothing but speed of the reaction. Yes, based upon the rate of the reactions we are dividing into three types. So what are those? The first one is very slow reactions. Very slow reactions. And the second one is moderate reactions. Moderate reactions, and the third one is very fast reactions. So based upon the rate of the reaction we are classifying the reactions into three types: very slow, moderate and very fast. What are very slow reactions? Very slow reactions means the reactions whose rate of the reaction is very slow, very less, whose rate is very less. So because of its less rate of the reaction, it is not possible. We cannot determine this rate accurately. So we cannot determine accurately. So why? Because to finish these reactions it takes years of time. So that is why we cannot determine this rate of the reactions accurately. What are the examples comes under very slow reactions? Best example, rusting of iron. Rusting of iron in presence of humidity. So this is the best example for the very slow reactions. Next, moderate reactions. The reactions whose rate of the reaction is moderate. Moderate means it is not very less, at the same time it is not very high. Moderate rate of the reaction. And because of its normal medium level, we can measure this rate of the reaction clearly. So we can measure this rate of reaction accurately, experimentally. And what are the examples comes under these moderate reactions? Examples, best two example: inversion of sugar, inversion of cane sugar, or inversion of sucrose. That's the best example. Sucrose on hydrolysis will get glucose and fructose. And the second one, combustion of hydrogen and coal. So these are also this is also an example for moderate reactions. So most of the combustion reactions are whose rates are moderate. Next, coming to the last one, very fast reactions. In the name itself. So reactions whose rate of reaction is very high. So within fraction of minutes or within fraction of seconds the reaction will be over. So that reactions we call it as very fast reaction, and because of its high rate of the reaction, even this rate also cannot measure accurately. We cannot measure accurately. Yes, what are the reactions comes under the very fast reactions? The following will comes under this very fast reactions. The first one is the precipitation reactions. Precipitation reactions. Is it all precipitation reactions are examples for very fast? Of course, most of the reactions. So precipitation reactions. Next, neutralization reactions between strong acid and strong base. Not all neutralization reactions. The neutralization reaction between a strong acid and a strong base is also a very fast reaction. And explosive reactions. Explosive reactions. So TNT. Okay, so these are the examples for very fast reactions. So this is a classification of reactions based upon the rate. Yes, what is exactly rate of reaction? So till now we discussed based upon the rate we classified the reactions into three categories. But first of all, what is exact rate, the speed of the reaction? So rate of reaction is nothing but the change in the concentrations of either reactants or products within unit of time. So simply rate of reaction is nothing but the change in concentrations of reactants or products in unit of time is called rate of the reaction. So this same word format, if you write it in a equation form, that is nothing but rate of reaction is equal to change in the concentration is nothing but delta concentration we usually represent with square bracket. So change in concentrations by change in time. Okay, delta C by R or delta C by delta T. So this is the general representation of the rate of the reaction. And this rate of the reaction with respect to reactants and with respect to products, again it is different. Yes, with respect to reactants, how can you define? Usually while the reaction is going on, what happens? The concentrations of reactants keep on decreasing and the products keep on increasing. So with respect to reactants, how you can define the rate of the reaction? So I am representing with the R. So R. So rate of the reaction is nothing but decrease in concentrations of reactants within unit of time. Decrease in the concentrations of the reactants. Why? Because by the consumption of time, the concentrations of reactants keep on decreasing. That is why decrease in the concentrations of reactants within unit of time. So that a decreasing symbol we represent with minus. This negative sign indicating what? Decrease in the concentrations, that is delta R by delta T. Okay, or else with respect to products, how can we write? R is equal to increase in concentrations of products by unit of time or change of time. So that is equal to increase means positive sign. So you can write this as plus delta P by delta T. So this is a rate with respect to the concentrations of reactants and this is a rate with respect to concentrations of products. Here, and when you draw a graph between rate of the reaction versus time. So rate and time, by the consumption of time, what happens the rate of the reaction? It will decreases exponentially. Okay, the rate of the reaction decreases, changes, not always decreases. With respect to reactants, if you say the rate will decreases with, by the increasing the time. Okay, exponentially. That point you should remember. So this is exponentially, not linearly. Okay. Similarly, when you draw the graph between concentrations of reactants with the time, by the consumption of time, what happens? The concentrations of reactants will keep on decreases. Again, the same like this. So here one point you should be clear, both the concentrations of reactants and the rate of the reaction with respect to reactants, both will decreases exponentially by the increasing the time. Suppose if you draw the graph between concentrations of products versus time, by the consumption of time, by the reaction is carry on, what happens? The concentrations of products will increases. So that what happens? The concentrations of products will increases exponentially. Similarly, when you draw the graph between rate versus time t, here with respect to products if you draw, so the rate also will increases exponentially. So with respect to products if you draw, these are the graphs. With respect to reactants if you draw, these are the graphs. Okay. So after that, so we should know, suppose if you take a chemical reaction, that is what I am taking, small a moles of capital A, small b moles of capital B, giving small c moles of capital C, small d moles of capital E. Let us consider a chemical reaction. So here in this case, the rate of overall reaction And before that, you should know the types of reactions. Before we go into that, so let us we finish that. Usually, the types of rates of reactions. The rates of reactions are generally two types. So what are those? One is average rate of reaction. Average rate of reaction. The second one is instantaneous rate of reaction. Instantaneous rate of reaction. So what is the average rate of reaction? Average rate of reaction is nothing but the total change in concentration by total change of time. Okay, if you take the total change of concentration and total time taken, then that is called average. Okay, so the total change in concentration by total time taken. So generally this average rate of the reaction we measure when the time taken is a longer time. When the time is very high, then we consider this average rate of the reaction. So the total change means usually the concentration change will be bigger. So we will write this as delta C by delta T. Here delta symbol means what? It's a bigger. When the total change of concentration or total time taken was bigger, then we use delta symbol. So with respect to reactants again minus delta C by T, delta T, and with respect to products plus delta P by delta T. So this is what average rate of the reaction. So what about this instantaneous rate of the reaction? So instantaneous rate of reaction is nothing but the change in concentration of the reactants at a particular instant of time. For example, a car is moving with a certain velocity. Initially it was started with 20 kilometers per hour. And after that 30, and after 5 minutes 40, after 5 minutes 50. Like this what happened? The total distance it was traveled is 60 kilometers, and for the traveling of 60 kilometers it takes 15 minutes. Let us consider. So then what is the average rate of that speed? Average rate is equal to the total distance it was traveled by the total time taken. Total distance is how much? 60. Total time was 50. 60 by 5 means 6 by 5, 1.2. That is the average rate. So now here, so similarly here also, the total change in the concentration by total time taken. But instantaneous rate means at 15th minute, what is the speed of that car? And at 25th minute, what is the speed of that car? It means the rate of the reaction at a particular instant of time, that rate we call it as what? Instantaneous rate of the reaction. Okay, so it is nothing but change in concentration at a particular instant of time. So this we will represent with the dC by dt. dC by dt. So at particular when the delta t was small, very small, we will use instantaneous rate. When the delta t was very large, then we will use average rate. So these are the types of the rate of the reaction. Anyhow, next let us we take a chemical reaction. That is small a moles of capital A, small b moles of capital B, small c moles of capital C, and small d moles of capital D. Products are producing in the reaction. So what is the rate expression? Is this the rate of the reaction is same to the rate of disappearance of A and rate of disappearance of B, rate of appearance of C and appearance of D? No, it's different. So the rate of reaction R is equal to, the rate of the reaction is equal to, so whatever the coefficients are there, either in reactants and products, and those coefficients becomes what? Denominators. So that is rate is equal to rate of disappearance of A by small e. Okay, rate of disappearance of, or else you can write this as, you can keep this as within the bracket, and you can write this as 1 by A. So rate of the reaction is equal to 1 by A times of rate of disappearance of A. That is equal. With respect to B, how can you write? So here the coefficient is what? B. So B means 1 by B of rate of disappearance of disappearance of B, that is equal to, with respect to C, how can you write? In the C, in case of C, this is the product term. Products are appearing while the reaction is going on, reactants are disappearing, products are appearing. So that is why, so C becomes what? 1 by C. So rate of appearance of C, that is equal to 1 by D of rate of appearance of D. So like this you can write the rate with any one of the reactants or any one of the products. And what is the rate of disappearance of A? How can you write? So it is nothing but, so that is the rate is equal to rate of disappearance, that is we represent the negative sign. So rate is equal to 1 by A into minus dA by dt. Okay, that is equal to 1 by B of, if you wanted to write a total change, you can write delta also, no problem. Delta you write. Again you may be confused. So delta A by delta T, that is equal to 1 by B into, so minus delta B by delta T, that is equal to 1 by C into, now here it's an appearance of C. Appearance means we should represent with the plus sign. My plus delta C by delta T is equal to 1 by D into plus delta D by delta T. So like this you can relate the rate of the reaction with any one of the rate of either reactants or products, and this is what we called as rate expression. So this representation we called as what? Rate expression. Expressing the rate of the reaction with the rate of any one of the reactants or products, and this is what we called as rate expression. And if you look at the units of the rate of the reaction, yes, if you take the units of the rate of the reaction, yes, tell me what is the rate formula? Rate is equal to change in the concentration by change in the time. That means in the numerator what is there? Concentration is there, and in the denominator what is there? Time is there. Okay, change in the concentration by change in the time. Yes, what is the units for concentration? Now concentration is nothing but molarity. What is the units for molarity? So moles per liter. So mole per liter divided by time is seconds or minutes. You can use any one, seconds or minutes. Now you bring this to numerator. So finally units of rate is equal to mole liter inverse second inverse or minute inverse. So this is the units of rate of any order. Don't be confused. This is the units for rate of any order of the reaction. But units of rate constant will be different. Don't be confused. Units of rate constant depends upon the order of the reaction, but the units of rate of the reaction always remains same for any order. Okay. Yes. Next one, rate law. Okay. So this rate law. What is rate law? It is nothing but this is a equation which relates rate of reaction versus concentration. Okay, the equation which relates rate of the reaction versus concentration, that equation we call as rate law. As for example, if you take an equation, capital A moles of A is giving B. Let us consider. For this reaction, how you can write? As we know in the chemical equilibrium, law of mass action, if you take law of mass action. According to the law of mass action, rate of any reaction is directly proportional to what? Product of active masses of reactants or product of concentrations of reactants to the power of their coefficients. So coefficient may be or may not be equal to the coefficient given in the stoichiometry. Okay. So according to that, if you write rate is proportional to concentration of A to the power of x. Here x may be equal to A, x is equal to its coefficients, stoichiometric coefficients, or x may not be equal to stoichiometric coefficient. We cannot conclude. So this value we generally we give it according to the experimental value only. After we do the experiment with how many times the rate will change by changing the concentration, only based on experimental results only we will decide this. Theoretically we cannot relate this power to the coefficient. Okay, so and this is so rate is proportional to concentration of A to the power of x. So rate is equal to K into concentration of A to the power of X. Okay, so this is what we called as rate law. Okay, in this rate law, so how you can write? So rate is nothing but rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the product of concentrations of reactants to the power. That power may be or may not be equal to the stoichiometric coefficients, and that law we call it as what? Rate law. And next one, rate constant. Here in this equation, rate is equal to K into concentration of A to the power of X we have written. So rate constant. What is rate constant? And this rate constant also we call it as specific reaction rate. Specific reaction rate. So the rate constant also we call it as specific reaction rate. Yes, what is the rate constant? So you just take this equation. R is equal to rate constant K into concentration of A to the power of X. Let us consider. Suppose if the concentration of A is equal to 1. Okay, so if concentration of reactants A is equal to 1, unimolar concentration if we consider. If you substitute 1 here, then R is equal to K into 1 power X. 1 to the power of any value is always be 1. So if concentration of A is equal to 1, then R is equal to K. So now how can we define the rate constant? It is nothing but rate constant is nothing but the rate of the reaction when the concentrations of the reactants are 1 or unity. Okay, then that is called rate constant. And if you take the units of this rate constant, the specific reaction rate. So K is from the above equation, what you can write? K is equal to rate by concentrations of reactants. So A is nothing but reactants to the power of X you consider as power as you consider as N you consider. So rate constant K is equal to rate by R power concentration of reactants to the power of N. So what is the units of rate? Just now we discussed rate of the reaction units: mole, liter inverse, second inverse. Okay, next one, or else you do one thing: mole per liter, second inverse. Next you bring this constant. What is the units for concentration? It is also same, that is mole per liter to the power of N. Now you bring mole per liter to the numerator. Okay, so then it will becomes what? So rate constant K is equal to mole per liter to the power of, so it's already 1. If you bring power N to the numerator, minus N will come. So 1 minus N, second inverse. So what you can write? Rate constant K is equal to, you can write this as mole power 1 minus N, liter power N minus 1, second inverse. So this is the general formula that we can use it for giving the units for rate constant of any order. So where N is equal to what? Order. For example, if N is equal to 0, you substitute. So for 0 order reaction, so mole power 1 minus 0, liter power 0 minus 1, second inverse. That means what are the units? So rate constant units are mole, liter inverse, second inverse. For first order, N is equal to 1. So just substitute 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 1, 0. So it will remain as rate constant units are second inverse. So like this, you can use this rate constant of unit formula for any order of the reaction. So this is about the rate constant or specific reaction rate. What are the characteristics of rate constant? What are the characteristics of the rate constant? So if you take, and before we discuss the characteristics of rate constant, let us discuss the rate constant of reversible reactions, rate constant of sidewise reactions. Let us discuss that. After that, we will discuss the characteristics. For example, if the reaction is going on in a reversible reaction, for a reversible reaction, how can we write the rate constant? So let us consider an equation: A giving B, B is again giving A. That means rate constant of forward reaction is Kf, rate constant of backward reaction is Kb. Let us consider. So what is the net rate of the reaction? R net. Net rate of the reaction. How can you calculate? It is nothing but the difference between the rate of forward reaction and rate of backward reaction. So net rate of the reaction is nothing but Rf minus Rb. Okay, net rate of for reversible reactions, net rate of the reaction is equal to Rf minus Rb. So what is the formula for Rf? Rf is equal to Kf into concentration of reactants. So Kf into concentrations of reactants minus Kb into concentrations of products. So this is a net rate of reaction formula for which reactions? For reversible reactions. For reversible reactions, this is the formula, we can use it. Next one. Suppose if the reaction is going in variable reactions, okay, in sideways reactions. Sideways reactions. For example, you take A is giving the product B with a rate constant of K1, and the same A is giving the compound product C with a rate constant of K2. Okay, so A is giving the B and also C, giving the B with the rate constant of K1, giving the C with the rate constant of K2. Then in that case, what is the rate of disappearance of A? A rate of the reaction with respect to the A if they ask. Then how do you write? Okay, now tell me, what is the rate of appearance of B? So rate of appearance of B is nothing but rate of reaction or rate of appearance of B is equal to K1 into concentration of A. Okay, so else dB by dt is equal to K1 into concentration of A. And rate of appearance of C, how can you write? That is rate of appearance of C, that is equal to K2 into concentration of A. So that is nothing but dC by dt is equal to K2 into concentration of A. In that case, the rate of disappearance of A, overall rate will be the sum of both. The sum of both. How can you write now? The overall net rate. So R net is equal to, just add both. So K1 into concentration of A plus K2 into concentration of A. So concentration of A is common in both. So you can write net rate of reaction is equal to K1 plus K2 into concentration of A. So these are the two equations, just remember. Okay. Next, okay. What are the characteristics of the rate constant? So the first characteristic is it measures the rate of the reaction. The rate constant measures rate of reaction. It measures rate of reaction is what? Simply by looking into the K value, we can decide whether the reaction is faster or slower. How? Suppose if the K value is larger, if the K value is a larger value, that means rate is very, very high. If the K value is smaller, then rate is very, very small. So simply K indicates what? Rate of the reaction. Simply by looking into the K value, we can decide whether the given reaction is what? Speed or slow. That is the first characteristic. Next one. The rate constant is depending on nature of the substances. It depends on nature of substances. Okay, the third characteristic, the rate constant K, it is independent on initial concentration. Note this point is very, very important. So it is independent on initial concentrations of reactants. It is independent on initial concentration. Rate of the reaction is directly depends on, but rate constant is independent on initial concentration. And the fourth one, it is directly proportional to, K is directly proportional to absolute temperature. K is directly proportional to absolute temperature. And to explain that only, okay, we are going to use log K2 by K1 is equal to, we have a formula also. Okay, Clausius-Clapeyron equation. We'll discuss that later. And the fourth one, the units of K depends on order of the reaction. Order of reaction. Already we discussed here. This is a general formula we use to give the units for rate constant of any order. Okay, so the units of K depends upon order of the reaction. So these are the 5 characteristics of rate constant. So the first one is it indicates the rate of the reaction. If the K value is bigger, rate of the reaction is higher. If the K value is smaller, rate of the reaction is smaller. Next, it depends upon what? Nature of the substances, and it is independent on the initial concentrations, directly proportional to the temperature, and the units of K depends upon the order of the reaction. Okay, these are the characteristics of the rate constant. Next, let us move to the next concept, molecularity. Before the molecularity, let us discuss the factors. Factors influencing rate of reaction. Factors which are influencing the rate of the reaction. Okay, the first one, the first factor, nature of reactants. Nature of the reactants. The second one, concentration of reactants. Concentrations of reactants. And the third one, temperature. Temperature. And the fourth one, catalyst. Catalyst. These are the 4 factors on which the rate of the reaction depends. Okay, the first one, nature of the reactant. How the reactant's nature will decide. As we know, the substances are of 2 types, as we know. Some are ionic and some are covalent. Okay, so when you compare these two, that is ionic substances, covalent substances. When you compare these 2 reactions, ionic substance undergoes ionic reactions, and the reactions in which the covalent substances are involved, what we call covalent reactions. Covalent reactions. And when you compare the ionic reactions and the covalent reactions, the rate of reaction is very, very high, whereas the covalent reactions, the rate of reaction is less. So rate of reaction is less. What is the reason? What is the reason behind it? When you compare the ionic reactions and the covalent reactions, ionic reactions are somewhat faster than covalent reactions. Why? There was a reason. In ionic reactions, already the substances are in the form of ions. Already in the form of ions they present. So there was no need of any bond breaking and bond making. So immediately they will react with each other and leads the formation of products. Okay. So ionic reactions are faster due to, what is the reason? There was no bond breaking and bond making. There was no bond breakings and bond makings. That is why ionic reactions are faster. Whereas covalent reactions, they are lesser because what? To convert a reactant into a product, there should be many number of bond cleavages and there should be many number of bond formations. That is why. So there was due to, what is the reason? Due to bond breaking and bond making. For example, we just take an example, what is that? CH4, if you take CH4, these are combustion. Okay, so 2O2 if you take, so we get CO2 and 2H2O. So this is what a covalent reaction. So if you take that, here how many bonds? 4 CH bonds. So here 4 CH bonds we should break first. Next, how many bonds here? O2, O double bond O. Each O2 molecule having 2. So the total how many are there? 4. So 4 OO bonds they should break. Okay. Total how many? 4 plus 4, 8 bond cleavages. Here CO2 if you look at the structure, C double bond O, double bond O. That means CO bonds, 4 CO bonds they should form. And H2O, each H2O molecule having 2 HO linkages, total 2. So total 4 HO bond they should make. So total how many bond cleavages? 8 bond cleavages. How many bond making? 8 new bonds formation. Total 8 cleavages and 8 formations. So there was more number of rearrangements. So that is why this reaction is slow comparative with ionic reactions. Okay, so this is about the nature of the reactants. Ionic substances are more reactive compared to the covalent substances. Next, we move to the next factor, that is what? Concentrations of the reactants. Concentrations of reactants. As we know, if you take the concentration, so what is the relation between the rate to the concentration? So rate is proportional to concentrations of reactants to the power of n, where n is equal to what? Order of reaction. So what is the order we will discuss later. So rate is proportional to concentration of R to the power of n, so that R is equal to K into concentration of R to the power of n. So this is the rate equation. In this rate equation, R is, what is the relation to the rate and the concentration? Rate is directly proportional to concentrations of reactants. Okay, concentration of R to the power of n. So it's directly proportional, except zero order. Except zero order, other than zero order reactions, for the remaining all order of the reactions, rate is directly proportional to the concentrations of reactants. Why zero order? Suppose if it is n value 0, then anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. That means rate is independent on concentration. That is why, except zero order reactions, the rate of the reaction for any order of the reactions, rate is directly proportional to concentration of R. That means if the concentrations of reactants increases, rate also will increases. And how many fold, it depends upon order anyhow. Okay, anyhow, for any order except zero order, rate and concentration both are directly proportional. And that we can clearly, experimentally we can conclude. How? By when you draw the graph between concentration versus time t, okay, what happened? The graph exponentially decreasing. It confirms that if the concentration decreases, rate also decreases. Okay, if the concentration decreases, rate also decreases. It shows that the rate and rate and concentration both are directly proportional. Okay, so this is what effect of concentration on rate of the reaction. Next, temperature. So if you take the temperature, how the temperature will affect the rate of the reaction? Always remember that there was no doubt that rate is directly proportional to temperature. No doubt. What is the reason? Just imagine. If the temperature was increased, okay, according to kinetic molecular theory, what happened? The kinetic energy? Kinetic energy will increases. Okay, if the kinetic energy of the molecules increases, so the total energy is equal to the sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy. So if the kinetic energy increases, what happens? The energy, the total energy of the molecules will increases. Or else, what? Randomness of the molecules will increases. If the randomness increases, what happens? There was more number of collisions. Okay, if the temperature increases, kinetic energy increases. Kinetic energy increases, what happened? Number of collisions. Effective number of collisions increases. If the number of effective collisions increases, then the rate of the reaction also will increase according to collisions theory. Okay, so anyhow, so rate is directly proportional to temperature. And here we should know, for every, anyhow rate is directly proportional to temperature. But you remember one point, for every 10 degrees raise of temperature, the rate almost doubled. That is what we call as temperature coefficient. Okay, so that means rate for every 10 degrees raise of temperature, rate almost doubled. Okay, sometimes tripled also in very rare cases. In most of the cases, rate almost be double for every 10 degrees raise of temperature, and that we can write it as KT degrees plus 10 degrees. T plus 10 degrees by T degrees is equal to, that is the ratio we call it as what? Temperature coefficient. Okay, temperature coefficient. So temperature coefficient is equal to rate constant at T plus 10 degrees by rate constant at T degrees. That is almost equal to what? 2. Okay, so this is clearly indicating what? Effect of temperature on rate of the reaction. And if you draw the graph, if you draw the graph between what and also this effect of temperature, to explain that we have an equation, and this to explain this effect of temperature we use Arrhenius equation. You know that Arrhenius equation. According to Arrhenius equation, yes, what is the Arrhenius equation? Rate constant K is equal to A into e power minus EA by RT. So K is equal to A into R. A means Arrhenius factor constant, e power exponential of minus EA by RT. EA stands for activation energy, R gas constant, T is temperature. Okay, now if you calculate this, if you calculate the ln, if you remove this, then ln K is equal to minus EA by RT plus ln A. Okay, so you by taking this equation, you write the two equations at two different temperatures. Suppose if you write the temperature at T1, then what you can write? Ln K1 is equal to minus EA by RT1 plus ln A. This is equation number 1. Similarly, you write the same equation at temperature T2, that is ln K2 is equal to minus EA by RT2 plus ln A. Okay, now you subtract equation 1 from the equation 2. So if you subtract the equation 1 from equation 2, what we can get? Ln K2 by K1. Why? Because ln log A minus log B is log A by B. In the same way, ln K2 by K1 is equal to, so what is ln A cancelled out. So what is remaining? EA by R minus EA by RT2 minus of minus plus EA by RT1. So from that what you can write? Ln K2 by K1 is equal, now you bring the second term to the first term to the second term, that is equal to EA by R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. Now you convert this ln to log. So ln to log means 2.30 log. So if you bring 2.30 to this side, so final equation ln or log K2 by K1 is equal to EA by 2.303 R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So by using this equation, we can calculate the rate constants at different temperatures. Okay, so this is the effect of temperature on rate of the reaction. Remember that for every 10 degrees rise of temperature, the rate of the reaction or rate constant is almost be doubled. Effect of temperature, we know that ln K is equal to minus EA by RT plus ln E. That is the equation we got. So from this equation, suppose if they ask you to draw the graph between ln K versus 1 by T, what is the slope of the graph? And is it a positive slope or negative slope? Just remember, so you just write this, y is equal to mx plus c. So in the y-axis ln K, in x-axis 1 by T. So if you remove the 1 by T, the remaining is what? Minus EA by R. So minus sign, so it means its intercept is ln A. So we get the graph like this. This is intercept, that is ln A, and whose slope is equal to minus EA by R. Suppose instead of drawing the graph between ln K versus 1 by T, if they draw the graph between log K versus 1 by T. Now log K is equal to minus EA by 2.303 R. So the graph will remain the same, but only the slope will change, that is minus EA by 2.303 R. So whose intercept is log A will come. So this is about the graphs between ln K versus 1 by T. Next one, the fourth factor, that is what? Effect of catalyst. Effect of catalyst. How the catalyst will affect the rate of the reaction. So further, you just draw the graphs. When you draw the graph between potential energy versus time t, potential energy versus time t. See, first of all, in the absence of catalyst. So this is the energy of reactants and this is the energy of products. Let us consider this is an exothermic reaction. Now, in the presence of catalyst, what happens? What is the changes that catalyst will change? As we know, definitely presence of catalyst will reduce the time. Reducing the time means the rate of the reaction increases. It speeds up the rate of the reaction or speeds up the reaction. How? How it is speeding up the reaction? Yes, the catalyst will speed up the reaction by changing the path of the reaction. How the path? In the presence of catalyst, the path will be like this. The path will be like this. In this new path, see that this is the threshold energy. So in the absence of catalyst, this is the threshold energy, activation energy. So this is threshold energy. So the energy difference between threshold energy to the actual energy we call as activation energy. And now in the presence of catalyst, what happens? This is the activation energy. Activation energy. So what are the changes the catalyst will do? See, a catalyst can alter. A catalyst can alter the following. So what are the first one? A catalyst can alter the path of reaction, definitely. So if you see the above, okay, so it is changing the path of the reaction, no doubt. Next one, it alters the activation energy of the reaction. Activation energy in the absence of catalyst, this is the higher activation energy, but in the presence of catalyst, very lesser. So it alters the activation energy. EA stands for activation energies. Okay, next one, it alters what? Rate of reaction, no doubt. It speeds up the reactions. It alters the path of the reaction. It alters the activation energy of the reaction. It alters the rate of the reaction. But what about is it altering any changes energies of reactants and products? Energies of reactants products remains as it is. Okay, and del H value also remains the same. And the del G value also remains the same. Del S value also remains the same. Okay, so a catalyst can alter the path of the reaction, can alter the activation energy, can alter the rate of the reaction, but a catalyst cannot alter what are those? It cannot alter Kc. Kc means what? Equilibrium constant with respect to concentration. Kc value in chemical equilibrium also we discuss. A catalyst will speed up the reaction to get into the equilibrium. It will not change the equilibrium position. Okay, so it cannot alter the Kc value. It cannot alter the potential energies of both reactants and products. Reactants to products, potential energies remains the same, and it cannot alter del G value, del H value, del S value. Cannot alter. Okay, so these are the values that catalyst cannot alter. Okay, so this is what positive catalyst. Catalysts again have two types: positive catalysts, negative catalysts. Positive catalyst means the catalyst will enhance the rate of the reaction by decreasing the activation energy. So this is the graph of positive catalyst. Okay, whereas what is a negative catalyst? Negative catalyst means it slow down the rate of the reaction. Instead of increasing the rate of the reaction, it decreases the rate of the reaction. How? By increasing the activation energy. So quite reverse. So suppose if you draw the graph between potential energy versus time t, so actual path is this one, but in the presence of negative catalyst, what happened? Like this it will happen. Okay, so in the presence of, so this is the activation energy before the catalyst, but this is the activation energy after the catalyst. So because of increasing the activation energy, very less number of molecules only converting into reactants, converting into products, this is the rate of reaction decreases. So this is about the effect of catalyst on rate of the reaction. Okay, so till now we discuss what are the types of reactions based upon the rate of the reaction, and after that what is the rate of the reaction, what is the rate law, and what is rate constant. Okay, and what are the characteristic features of rate constant, and what are the factors on which the rate of the reaction depends. Okay, next let us move to the next segment, that is what? Molecularity and order. Okay, now